Deltarune, Deltarune, Deltarune. Oh man, I waited my whole life for chapter 2, and with my whole life I mean almost 3 years, because that's basically my whole life. I remember making a video on chapter 1 a long ass time ago, but this video sucks. So I'm gonna unlist it and I'm gonna do Deltarune justice, because goddamn, this game is amazing. I love it. I'm gonna try to make a little series out of this with a total of 3 parts. Chapter 1 and 2, chapter 3, 4 and 5, and chapter 6 and 7. The reason for this is because I just really want to talk about Deltarune. I genuinely adore this game and I just really want to review it. So if you haven't played it yet, go play it. It's free. Why are you here? If you're not gonna play this game, you're gonna get spoiled to death on the internet, because this game is everywhere. You can't avoid it, okay? Just go play it. Also, please like video. I like numbers. Deltarune. This is a dialogue-packed, turn-based RPG made by Toby Fox, the creator of this small, niche little game called Undertale. Which, if you have never heard of this game before, you are probably an old grandpa that got lost on the internet. Undertale might possibly be the most influential RPG of all time. I usually fall asleep if I'm trying to play a dialogue-heavy RPG, but Undertale is an exception. I mean, I've played Explorers of Sky, I've completed like 200 RuneScape quests, but not a single character from these games hits you the same as someone like Papyrus, Undyne, or even Funny Bone Guy. These characters are just so lovable. The game has funny jokes, witty dialogue, a kick-ass soundtrack. So what did they do with Deltarune? Just only make every aspect of it better, no biggie. How did you manage to do this 3 times in a row? You are insane. The world of Deltarune is very confusing. Apparently this is a parallel story to Undertale, which I have no idea what that means, but sure. You have a lot of familiar faces like Toriel, Elvis, Funny Bone Guy, but also a bunch of great new characters like Susie, Bertley, and Ralsei. And you play as a kid named Chris with no human emotions. He just kinda looks like a :neutral_face:. And then you meet Susie and fall into the dark world, a spooky place with spooky enemies. You basically go on an adventure with a purple looking dinosaur to see a dark fountain, and on your way there's a bunch of wacky things that happen. In chapter 1, for example, you get a fight tutorial from Ralsei with a dummy, so you can either like actually fight it, or just hug him. Or just hug Ralsei, why not? You meet Lancer that just rides around on a bike, being a dumb, lovable idiot. There is a boss that is just a giant red checker piece that does this funny little dance. Chapter 2 has you going into the cyber world with 2 more classmates, Bertley and Noelle. Noelle doesn't know how the battle system works, so the first enemy you face, you would just be super confused to what is happening, and then an enemy actually explains to her how it works. You have this goofy queen antagonist that tries to capture you, but just fails continuously. Thankfully, she tells you to collect a banana. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole joke. Every time you think the game goes straight, it does one of these. It's so unpredictable, which keeps you so enticed throughout the whole adventure. It doesn't try to be this big spectacular thing. It's all very simple stuff, but it makes the game so concise. I will forever say this, alright? Simpler games are better games. When I look at something like Demon X Machina, I just get a headache. When I look at Deltarune, I go, whoa, funky little dude, I'm gonna draw him 8 billion times. Both chapters are also filled to the brim with hidden secrets, Easter eggs and references. It's kinda unhealthy how many of them are in this game. Every action you perform, every character you talk to has something different to say. Deltarune is just so densely packed with dialogue, and you never want to skip any of it. Even the tutorials are fun to do. Chapter 2 also has an entirely new route that you can follow called Snowgrave, which you can kinda compare to a genocide run in Undertale. The thing that makes Snowgrave genuinely terrifying is that all the goofiness is just gone. Deltarune gets genuinely creepy and unsettling. The music turns from this happy beat to a slower and somber version of the song. Like, it's scary. The cars and NPCs start to disappear. Enemies run away once you get close to them, while you make Noelle freeze them one by one until there is nothing left. You genuinely feel like you are doing something wrong. Deltarune and even Undertale are really good at this. They just flick a switch and turn the whole game into something something sinister and dark. The game keeps telling you don't do it, don't continue this, but you don't care because the game is fun to play and seeing characters suffer is fun, I think. But let's not piss around any longer, alright? What about the gameplay? It's alright, it's not bad. The big criticism I had towards Undertale is that eventually the combat gets a bit still. The bosses in this game are amazing, but at some point a few encounters end up kinda bland. Deltarune steps this up big time by making the act feature a lot more interesting and turning it into a little puzzle, and the combat has this TP bar which can be used for magic spells that provide extra damage or bonus healing. It is way easier than Undertale, but I'm willing to give it some slack since this is just a demo. But there is some real potential for some awesome fights, and chapter 2 already showed how far they are willing to push the envelope. You also have obstacles you need to avoid in the actual game world, but they are all really easy to avoid. That's like my biggest gripe I have with this game. It's easy, really easy. I never really felt challenged at all. Maybe it's because I'm just too good at bullet hell games, but I think Undertale gets pretty challenging at times. Deltarune in comparison is just baby difficulty. I feel this has to do with the fact that you can attack up to 3 times in a row instead of just once, but there are 2 parts where the game gets genuinely tougher and where I think the difficulty is perfect. The 2 secret bosses, Jeffel and Spamton Neon, are so goddamn good. They are without a doubt the highlight of this entire game. Their fights are just so nutty, both from a gameplay and visual standpoint, especially Spamton Neon. This is my favorite fight in the entire game so far. It's so creative and stylish. It keeps cracking jokes while bombarding you with projectiles. It's nuts. If the whole game was on the same level of difficulty as this, I would have loved it even more, unironically, because this straight up slaps and Toby Fox deserves a fat thumbs up. Good job, dude. Here is a cookie. Deltarune just straight up slaps ass, man. The game isn't bogged down with garbage annoyances. It's just a fun adventure with extremely lovable characters, funny jokes, and a super compelling story. The writing is what makes Deltarune such a phenomenal experience. Sure, the music, character designs, Easter eggs, and combat are all great, but I think nobody has ever been so attached to a shady businessman until this loser came around the corner. If you haven't played this game yet, then I don't know what to tell you, man. You are wasting your time. This is a must play, and if you're not gonna play it, I'm gonna smack you. Also, there is a big ass toilet, which means you can theoretically take fat dumps. Now, this is what I call quality gameplay. Hell yeah!